director / producer. Which one are we going with?
Trump versus the Pope.
Trump versus the Pope.
The Pope.
This Pope is much younger.
This Pope's got some energy in him.
And he's from Chicago.
And Chicago's not known for being Trump fans. And,
not these days.
And I think it's starting. I think Trump's already starting to have a little bit of jealousy because he was the coolest kid in the United States, and like everybody talked about him and stuff like that. But like the last 2 weeks, everybody's been talking about Leo.
Yep.
You know, and him being everybody knows he's a White Sox fan.
Yep. His mother's a Cubs fan.
You know,
that's what we found
she's
out.
got taste.
Yeah.
She's got taste. But I think there's going to be a conflict within the next 6 months between some of Trump's policies and the Pope's beliefs. And this Pope's not, he seems to be a little more conservative than Francis.
A little bit, yeah.
But definitely not like Benedict.
No.
So I think it's going to be real interesting to see what happens.
I'm not saying that.
No, you're not allowed to say that. You're not allowed
my list.
You're not allowed to say that one.
I want my list.
So I think there's going to be some conflict between the two of them because we're talking about the two most powerful people right now in our news and in the world.
Sure.
So I think someone's going to want to be the big dog on the porch. What's your ideas on that?
Well, there's a lot more Catholics than people that live in the United States of America, and it is a global institution. You know, but we'll see what happens. You know, does Trump start taking away the tax benefits for seminaries, churches, and places that don't pay real and property taxes?
Yeah,
he's doing that with universities.
That might be a little bit.
Universities.
That'll go over like a lead balloon.
I understand that, but it's not beneath him.
Yeah, that's super risky to do because most of your party is also Catholic.
He's going to lose his
well.
base. He's going to lose his base at that point.
Well, I don't know that he's that. I don't know.
I can tell you this:
foolish.
the people that voted for Trump are, for the most part, all right, they are faith-based decision people. All right, you don't think so?
No, I just think that's crap. Because if they're faith-based Parisian people, they're not sticking to their guns. He's thrice divorced. He's an adulterer. He's sleeping with porn stars. You know, the only thing that he reconciles with any of those people is he doesn't drink.
And if you watched any of my old shows of Uncommon Ground, I didn't understand it.
It's a big disconnect in my mind.
I did not understand it.
It's the
but and you might be right, but that number is going down because of the technology and stuff like that too. But the people that are actually voting for him, for the most part, are going to be leaning towards faith-based decisions. Mm-hmm. And that's why you're seeing so many of the Hispanic voters drifting over from the Democratic Party to the Republican Party, is because they're faith-based decision makers. And
a lot of them are Catholic, absolutely.
And a lot of the Hispanics are Catholic.
Correct.
So I think, just like we were saying, the Trump Pope thing, I think when it comes down to mano a mano with his group, I think the Pope's going to win that argument.
Yeah, especially if he moves a little bit further to the right from Francis. Mm-hmm. You know, because a lot of that is, you know, same-sex marriage, the word we cannot say, and things of that nature. Mm-hmm. You know, I think it's less about women becoming deacons and things of that nature. I think it's less about the absolution of people who have been divorced and being able to go back and take communion, things of that nature that have been a little bit loosened up. You know, yes, a lot of Catholics are very conservative, but there's a part of people who are Catholic who are a tad more liberal in overall situations. You know, the church for the longest time has been very doctrinaire. One of the best things in the United States and a lot of other places was moving away from Latin language mass. You know, I mean, you could do the mass in Latin, but people didn't understand a word they were saying. I mean, it's not benefiting anybody. It became rote. You know, you recognize the words, but you might not have understood them. So
what he wrote?